So, haven't done a video yet of this 2024 fall garden that I got going. I got my saffron. Should be flowering any day now. I put it under here just so it can stay dry with all the rain that we got here in Central Oregon, because saffron, comes from the Middle East. It's not really a fan of rain. You actually don't have to water saffron ever. My strawberry runners, where you cut off the mother plant from the daughter plants, seems to be doing pretty good. I've pretty much at the end of my harvest for my fall garden that I started late June, early July. I've already picked most of my spinach here. I'm just kind of letting it grow a little extra, get a second harvest out of it. Got my cauliflower. It's been pretty devastated by slugs, but it's gonna do its thing. And we got some mint and some kale back there. Some pretty nice beets growing here. You can see the beets starting to form there. I should probably cover those with some dirt soon. Some arugula, cilantro. And the reason why all this looks small is because I have, like I said, I've harvested everything. I've basically butchered these plants and gotten everything already that I could from them. But I still have some things growing. Got some beans there. Cilantro, this one I'm letting to flower so I can collect the seeds. Got some broccoli rabe there. Some marjoram. Some garlic. So when you do your fall garden, you kind of have to do a little bit of math. You got to calculate when your first frost is going to be. And you want to plant your seeds so they can mature before the first frost. And you can look it up online and you can see when the first frost in your area is going to be. And you subtract how long it takes to grow that plant from maturity until it's ready to harvest from the time when you have that first frost. And you have to keep in mind the time that it takes to germinate the plant. Certain seeds, can take 2 weeks to germinate. So that's not included in that time. So you have to keep that into consideration. Garlic is a very good fall crop. If you grow garlic in the fall, which is how farmers do it, it goes through a cold process when it gets below freezing during the winter. And that is actually what separates and makes those different bulbs form inside the whole chunk of garlic, the ear of garlic. If you grow garlic in the spring or in the summer, you're going to get an ear of garlic with no bulbs. It's going to be one solid piece of garlic, which is what I like. It actually is kind of easy because you don't have to peel all that paper off in between each pieces. You get one big solid piece of garlic. But they don't sell those at the store. That's not normal. I'm not sure why. But garlic actually needs a freezing process to happen. The ground has to freeze in order for it to make those different cloves in the ear of garlic. So you have different individual, cloves of garlic in that ear. And that's the garlic that you see at the store. So garlic is one really good crop to start in late summer and to grow throughout the fall. And it will overwinter, and by the springtime you will have great garlic. I think that's some cabbage. There's broccoli rabe. Like I said, I've harvested the crap out of this cilantro and this arugula. At this point, I'm just kind of letting them do their thing. I've been eating this stuff for the last, several months, so I'm just kind of letting everything just, like you can tell, I've just been cutting the crap out of this spinach. And just, like, anytime I want spinach, I just come get it. It's been pretty nice. We got our compost over there. That's going to help us for the next season. These are some plants that I moved to the other side of the yard to see if the different sunlight would do better. These plants get the late afternoon sunlight. It seems to make some bigger leaves, especially on the spinach, although you can see the damage from the slugs. The garlic also has done a little bit better. Rosemary back there, some more arugula, and oh, here's a slug here. That's my only issue really right now, is the slugs. Other than that, everything seems to go good. The slugs kind of concentrate on the cabbage and, Brussels sprouts and stuff like that. I kind of almost grow this just for the slugs to eat. So that way they kind of leave the rest of my plants alone, like my arugula. They haven't really touched my arugula too much. A little bit here. And you can tell it's getting colder. The colder it gets, the more purple those leaves will get. Here I got some sugar peas. Oh, I got a bunch of sugar snap peas. I come out here every day and just snack on these. They're so tasty. They're just amazing. These don't even leave the garden. I just pick them every day. I come out here and I just pick them and I eat them. And I use this old mattress spring wire thing. That's what they're growing up right now. So you want to grow a good fall garden. Like I said, you have to look in your area, look at the garden zone of where you're growing, look at when you have your first frost, and then look at your seed packet and see how long it takes until it reaches maturity. Subtract that time, and then add on, as much as it takes for that seed to germinate. So let's say I'm starting in July and the plant matures in 2 months. It'll be ready in September. But it takes 2 weeks to germinate. So that's the middle of September. But you get your first frost, at the end of September. Then you're good. But at the same time, that means that you're only going to have 2 weeks for it to produce its crop. So you need to look at the time chart, see what you can grow, and you can. And so fall crops, I tend to do, as you can see, in pots. I do them all in pots. For me, it's easy that way, because if I get too much rain, I can move them. Growing in the spring or summer, you do it right into the ground. So it really depends on what you're growing and what your intentions are. So right now it's November 3rd. We've gotten pretty cold. It's gotten to like 35, 34 degrees. We haven't quite gotten to 32 degrees, which I feel like I've been pretty lucky. Normally after Thanksgiving, that's usually the time to, call it in. But I'm gonna see how long, the weather will withstand to reach, this warmness. As soon as on the forecast, if I look it up and it says, 32 degrees, I'm gonna have to might bring some of these plants inside if I want to continue to harvest them. I might just call it and just say, okay, throw them in my composts over there that are doing amazing. I'm making this beautiful dirt. It's really a blessing. And there's lots I can do. Like these strawberries, these can get covered with snow. They'll be fine. I harvest the leaves, make supplements and use them for tea. We still got some, succulents growing here. A lot of mint. Some roses are just now flowering, so it's like, it's very questionable of what can grow, what not can grow. It's all about experimenting. These are my saffron again. I'm just very proud of my saffron. 15 years ago, I bought 3 saffron bulbs from Amazon. And I started a patch in California. It's still growing. It's still there, producing saffron. There's got to be, several hundred bulbs still in the ground. Just every year it's producing. I moved to Nevada, started a patch there, still producing. Moved to Oregon, started a patch here, it's producing. It's a very prolific plant. And like I said, it doesn't like water. They don't ever need to be watered. It's weird because it's the most expensive herb, spice that can be grown. And it does not ever need to be watered. You literally just stick it in the ground. You don't have to do anything. They thrive on being neglected. They thrive on being neglected. And there are very few plants that thrive on being neglected. Most plants really need that care. They need help. They need, pick off the bad bugs, give it some fertilizer, mulch it. They have to be watered, dried out, whatever. Not saffron. They thrive. They absolutely thrive on being neglected. This video is not supposed to be about saffron, but I just cannot tell you enough about how amazing that this plant is. It is just a godsend. I use it in my rice. I use it in pasta. I dry them, make them into powder and put them in capsules. I just freaking love saffron so much. I can't even tell you how much. And to find a plant that cost me a few bucks, 15 years ago, to get a few bulbs, and I've had it ever since. And oh, a plant that I don't need to water, a plant that doesn't need anything, a, a, a plant that literally likes to be neglected will thrive and spread, and all I have to do is divide the bulbs and propagate it, once every 5 years. To me, that's freaking amazing. It's just freaking amazing. I can't comprehend that. You know what I mean?